Hey guys, this is so impromptu. I pretty much never watch the so-called news because, well, I'm sure a lot of you guys don't either. Um, However, my dog was on the my dog was on the news, so I had it on. Yeah, because he's freaking cute. So I had it on, and you know, and then I had a different channel on, same reason. And you know, so now there's talks of a so-called ceasefire. Okay. From the terrorist state of Israel to Hamas. It's been 2 years, a week short of 2 years. Every single time they have said ceasefire, the terrorist state of Israel has either declined or broken it within like minutes. We are so beyond a fucking ceasefire. So beyond. That was like a year and 11 and a half months ago. That is less than breadcrumbs. Just like they had a ceasefire in Lebanon, lasted what, like an hour? This is not a solution to this, is not attainable through a fucking ceasefire. And you're seeing these people on the news who are like, the conflict in Gaza. It's not a fucking conflict, it is a Holocaust. People need to stop saying genocide. It is beyond a genocide. If you look up the description of a Holocaust, this is a Holocaust. It's incredible that they are floating this as if it is like this amazing thing. The terrorist state of Israel has stated for over a year they are doing their final solution. That means no, sort of, agreement, whether it's written or verbal. That's not going to stop them. As we speak, they are literally fucking bombing the flotillas, which is international law that they are not allowed to touch them because they're in international waters. They are breaking that. Shocking. So even while they're saying, oh, if Hamas, accepts this ceasefire deal, cool, they're literally breaking international laws. Is there anyone who thinks that this will make any fucking difference? If Hamas gives back the 58 or 25 or however many people, isn't that the only leverage we have at this point? Not that the terrorist state of Israel fucking cares about them anyway, but isn't that pretty much all we have? I mean, we don't have anything else to so-called bargain with. What else do we fucking have? They have over 10,000 Palestinians without charge, without crime, just being held as hostages. Nobody's talking about that. Even the parents of people who were, you know, hostages from Hamas, even they have been saying for over a year, Netanyahu is fucking disgusting because they are using our family as bargaining chips to continue what is going on. He says so much about the hostages, this and that. He doesn't even care that their families have been begging him to stop this bullshit for over a fucking year. So if Hamas agrees to this and says, cool, we'll give you back the 58 or 25, or I don't fucking know. It fluctuates because the terrorist state of Israel unalives their own people all the fucking time. We will give you them back. Now what? Seriously, like, now what? Or let's say everything fucking ends today. Everything. Like, let's just pretend it's utopia and that's gonna happen. Everything ends today. Cool. Where's the food? Where's the water? Where's the shelter? Where's the electricity? Where is all this shit magically going to come from? Because let's just say this shit all ended today. That means when end, the word end, that means that's it. The terrorist state of Israel is not going to be like, hey, guess what? Since this is over, we're going to come in, we're going to, help you rebuild and give you food and water and, like help you rebuild because we're just amazing people. No. The people of Palestine have no help. The help they have is not allowed to be given to them. We know this. Nothing is going to fucking change. People who are celebrating this idea of a ceasefire have no fucking clue what has been going on these past 2 years or prior. They don't fucking know because this is not going to change one fucking thing. It actually may make things worse. It's incredible. Yet again, Netanyahu was on American soil the other day. When he came to DC, I was outside protesting and I was so fucking proud. But I was so disgusted that I was literally in the same fucking city as that piece of shit. And also disgusted by the countless standing ovations by politicians, including in the Democrat Party. How the fuck different is Trump? Please tell me. How the fuck different is he? Because people are like, oh, I can't believe Trump just asked a dictator. The terrorist state of Israel literally said that Biden never even asked them for a ceasefire, working around the clock. How much money did Biden give to the terrorist state of Israel? How many lives were lost while Biden was president? Because the shit did not fucking start in January. And this selective outrage is fucking bullshit. And it's prevalent with Democrats and always has been. So what is going to fucking change? What outcome could any of this possibly have that would be anything other than our biggest fear? I'm genuinely asking. I don't know. I have thought about it a million times. I don't know I mean, what do you guys think? What could possibly happen other than the complete erasure of this indigenous population? Hey, Holly. I don't know. And, I never used to say this because I didn't want to be defeatist or, come across that way because I know we're all trying to deal with this in different ways. And it's traumatic for all of us to see these videos and to even think about what the fuck is going on. But how can this have any other fucking outcome? Yeah, Holly, I'm with you. I don't believe it either. And I think this is just another opportunity for, the terrorist state of Israel to be like, see, Hamas didn't agree to our ceasefire. Um, because every time they declined one, they said it was Hamas who did. Um, Speaking of which, what I was thinking about the other day, I digress, but you know how like back in 2016 and throughout for several years, there was this, thing like hashtag resist. And it was like all the pink pussy hat libs and like all the shit libs and stuff, they would be like, resist. And what they meant by resist is literally use the hashtag and wear pussy hats and go in a parade, not a march, a parade one day a year and be like, oh my God, we could be at brunch, like shit like that. That is what they meant by resist. You take an actual resistance group resisting action that is literally harming and ending lives. And that is looked at as the worst thing in the world. What they meant by resistance is we're going to talk about how Trump is orange all day. We're just going to, talk about how his butt looks big in those white pants and put poop marks on it. And we're resisting. That's hardcore resistance. Actual resistance of people fighting for their right for survival is somehow offensive. I don't know how this is going to end. I think I know how it's going to end. And I think a lot of us are getting to the point where we just are having to acknowledge that we've been trying not to think about the reality of what is coming. I grieve so much for my Palestinian friends. I'm in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and there is actually a Palestinian community here. I've met quite a number of Palestinians here, and we do a lot of organizing and events and stuff. And I mean, all of them have relatives there. I mean, it's incredible. Like you see, on Al Jazeera and like actual, places who do, actual journalism. Um, and they'll be like, this guy was unalived with 76 of his relatives. That is legit how Palestinian families are. Like, it seems like all the ones I've met have like 23 cousins is still in Gaza and things like that. And it's sad because that means that everyone knows someone who's affected or multiple someones. I don't know. This was an impromptu show, but it just, watching the local news for the first time in years and, seeing the word conflict being used, of course. And saying it's a war on Hamas. It's like you don't get desensitized to that fucking bullshit. Just like you don't get desensitized to those videos of children and anyone else for that matter. I don't know, you guys. I am losing any and all semblance of hope in any regard. They are bombing the flotillas, like they are, they have bases set up for when the flotillas arrive. One of them is only about 300 miles away and is supposed to arrive tomorrow. The things people are doing to try to get things like flour to people, literally risking their lives so that they can get everyday things we all take advantage of to these people who have less than nothing. I just want to know, like I said, if it ended today, how do we rebuild? Our fucking country's not going to do anything. That's for damn sure. We helped destroy it. We're not going to fucking help rebuild it. So how are they just all going to be unhoused forever? Are they, who's going to give them food? And that's another thing. And I touched on this last week. There are countries coming out and saying Palestine should be a state and everything. I appreciate that. The issue that I have with that is it is not land back. It is still a separatist thing. It is still saying, cool, Palestine is going to be its own state. That still has, barbed wire fences around it. It still has walls around it. It still has machine guns around it. What is that? What is it really? Isn't it just pretty words? Because the terrorist state of Israel can still go in to Palestine. They can still go in. It's not like, oh, it's a state now. They're, untouchable. It's symbolic. It's not changing anything. So I don't understand why when I see so many people just celebrating things like that. I mean, how does that help them? How does it help them? I don't see it helping them. And as far as celebrities, holy fuck. If I see one more thing about Emma Stone saying she won't work with Israel filmmakers again, she has not said one fucking word for 2 years. Not one word. And now it's safe because over 800 people in Hollywood have said this, and people who are supposedly pro-Palestine are sucking her dick. Stop. She's a fucking celebrity. She literally did not say one fucking word. Not one for 2 fucking years. Why the fuck are we praising these people? There are celebrities who know they have a platform and who have used it way before now to try and talk to people, to try and educate people. She's not one of them at all. Most of the ones you're seeing coming out now are not. They're doing it now because it's popular and it's convenient, and there's not going to be nearly enough, as much pushback. Where were all these celebrities when the ones who were speaking out were being fired? Where were they when Susan Sarandon was freaking ditched by her company, her film company that she's worked with for decades because of doing pro-Palestine events? Where were they? I didn't see them sticking up for her. I saw her. I see Javier Bardem saying that Israel is a terrorist state and should not exist. These people are going hard. These people are what we need. Not because they're celebrities, but because they have huge platforms. And because they're saying, you know what? I know I'm probably going to be fucking blacklisted in Hollywood if I say this, but it's fucking true. I have respect for those people. Mark Ruffalo, yeah, he was one of the first ones to come out. And he's been my celebrity crush for years. But I gave up on him when he started pushing Kamala. The same person who contributed to the genocide he complains about. And he's making videos telling us all to vote for her. Done. Done. You can't have it both ways, dude. Nope. I know I'm a bit scattered because I wasn't planning on doing this, but so tomorrow night I have another show. Josh will be joining me. We'll be covering more about Palestine, of course, and more of this week's news and this week's clusterfucks. Everyone smash like and subscribe. Also, my new book, please buy it. Our friend Temujin, The Wrongful Conviction of Temujin Kensu. He has been proven innocent in the court of law multiple times. He is now serving his 39th year and counting in prison. I have proof of his innocence, documents everything all throughout this book. I went to prison to see him in Michigan, and a lot of the transcript is also in here. This is the first and only book on his case. He's represented by 8 innocence organizations, including the Innocence Project. I also have a quote in my book from Assata Shakur, coincidentally, rest in power, queen, serious queen. Please look into her if you don't know her quotes. And the one I put in here is incredibly powerful as well. Temujin is literally in solitary right now because he was set up with yet again because he knows too much. He knows way too fucking much. He knows I reveal so much fucking government corruption in this book. You guys have no fucking clue. This book may get me sued very easily, and I hope not, but it may. But this man's life is on the line. We need his story out there. Everyone needs to know his fucking story because he is incredibly sick. He has a brain tumor. He has disabilities. And he keeps winding up in the hospital. They will not give him medical care. They will not even give him over-the-counter vitamins. They want him to die. This is not an exaggeration. We need people to know his story. Please get this book. It is on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. He approves of this book. They actually let him have it in prison, which shocked the freaking hell out of me. And he read it and he loves it. We have not been able to talk to him in over 2 fucking weeks because he's been in isolation or the hospital, back and forth. They set him up. They had, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm just going to say it. They had someone come into his cell with a Wi-Fi stick and say, hey man, look what I got. And the fucking security guards just happened to be standing outside the cell. Oh, hold on, Temujin, hold on. Threw him in solitary. What a fucking coincidence. Guess what? He didn't know the fucking guy that came in with the Wi-Fi stick. They've done this to him so many fucking times, you guys have no fucking clue. It's all in this book. We may lose him. That is not an exaggeration, and we need his fucking story out. So please get this book. Let me see if I can see. Hello. Let's see. It looks like Larry. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Yeah, please buy our friend Temujin. Learn his story, and if you don't have the funds to buy the book, please go to the Innocence Project website, look up Temujin Kensu, TEMUJINKENSU, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Democrat. Michigan has had his clemency papers on her desk for over 6 fucking years and has not signed them. So we need him out bad. It is a matter of life or death. So that's why, even as a blind person, I needed to write this fucking book. Not exactly easy when you're 85% blind, especially to have to go through thousands of pages of court documents, but nobody else was doing it. So I just hope that people read it. I hope that people share the story, and I hope that one fucking day we can free him. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And always, free Temujin, free Palestine, and much love.